Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers of all kinds and walks of life, to the Apex Point Racing League Sprint Series. Today we're driving into the highlights of an intense race at the legendary Streets of Willow Springs Reverse. This one was packed with action, so buckle up as we break down the key moments. I'm Chris, and with me today in the commentary box is Snoopy and Anthony. Welcome, guys. How are yous?
Hey Chris, how are you? Anthony?
Hi Chris, hi Snoopy. Good to be back.
Yes, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it'll be. I've been hearing rumblings and rumors that this was a very intense two races. Lots of action to break down and watch. But as always, this stream is brought to you by Image Digital. This Australian company specialises in high quality, all over printed apparel for sports, corporate and more. They focus on sustainability with colour fast, breathable and recyclable fabrics. Whether for one custom piece or thousands, Image Digital delivers exceptional quality. Proud sponsors of APRL, helping us gear up for the race. Check them out for innovative and sustainable apparel solutions. So guys, before we start the race, we're just going to go through a track overview, have a chat about some things, and we'll get the race started. But with the track overview, we're obviously at the Streets of Willow Springs Reverse, and it is a very technical 2.9k circuit, and it's located in California. Elevation changes demanding precise handling and braking. The reverse configuration adds an extra layer of complexity, requiring drivers to adapt to unconventional corner approaches. Is there anything you guys want to stress on this track and why you think it was picked?
I think it's just a good track for the type of car that we're running, you know, front engine, front wheel drive, small hatchback, really sort of tight technical circuit with some longer straights or sweeping bends that can really allow the car to stretch its legs. It is a tuned vehicle, so it does have the benefit of racing, medium tyres, suspension and the likes, and it's one that I guess will challenge all the different dynamics of a skillful driver from tight apexes to, just battling side by side with other drivers.
Also, a very, I guess, taxing track. If you do make the mistake, you are going to be punished. Also, traction does take a bit of time to get back on the track. So, I guess caution. Those drivers, being a bit more cautious might be, reaping some rewards for other cars being a bit more aggressive, running wide and taking a bit of a Dakar rally track line.
in saying that, Anthony, obviously, if we do have a few cars fighting position, they do enter on the exit on the side of the track and hit that dirt. How much does that affect the visibility for other cars behind them coming up to turns and seeing their braking lines and the apexes of certain turns?
I guess it depends on really the camera angle the drivers are preferring to use, whether they're using bumper or using the hood cam. Using the hood cam gives you a bit more of a, I guess, extra height so you can see over the top of the other cars. I used to use that one when I was racing close behind other cars just to, I guess, get a sneaky peek at the apexes. But bumper cam is the faster view, in my opinion. And with time, I got better at just using that and understanding the track and knowing where it is and having that trust in the other drivers around me, being that we've been driving together so long, that they will also understand the track and have confidence in each other, not to get punted or hit each other. Here in this specific series is a bit different from the Group 3s, where we have classes and we're pitting drivers against each other who are similarly skillful. This is an open class where we reverse the grid and the faster drivers start at the back based on ELO points or championship points. So we're going to see a great mix of drivers, and just to go back to the point you're making, so it's going to be difficult when these drivers are running wide and you're following their lines. So I think you're going to see a lot of people scrambling three wide kind of situations, not knowing who to pick to follow. It's going to be it's what makes these races great.
And I think the dynamic of what you said, where it's a classless kind of race where everyone's kind of lumped together, is a challenge in its own. Where you're going to have those fast guys vying up the top, but having to get if they don't qualify or starting from the back, they have to get through the slower, less experienced drivers, and that can be a challenge in itself. So a very dynamic kind of race to put together here with that, and seeing how that all kind of gels together.
Yeah, it's really one of the races that we'd like to do just for an extra dynamic to allow our drivers in our league to, I guess, get the chance to race against faster drivers, learn how to be a slower car. Because you might be a slower driver, but there also comes with some skill needed to be the slower driver, how to avoid oncoming traffic. That is all part of it. Being aware of your surroundings, driving with your radar on, using all the telemetries that the game's giving you to position yourself, hit your markers, move when you need to move, avoid when you have to avoid, so that we can have better racing in the Group 3s. So that's partly why we enjoy these ones.
And is there any particular racer out there that we should be focusing on or watching out for in the next two races?
Yeah, I can answer this. We have in this race a driver who will be starting in round one. Being that's reverse grid, this person hasn't earned any points. The person at the front is actually a seasoned veteran for sprint races, is quite quick. I don't see him being passed, to be honest. The guys that will be racing against him will be at the rear of the field, having to work their way through the class, all the different classes of drivers. So DDK at the front, or you might see him on screen as unknown. Snoopy, do you have any opinion on who we'll be looking out for?
Yeah, definitely. I tend to agree with you in the sense that DDK starting his first round in the Civics tonight, starting P1 from the front, should have a fairly easy first race. It's that second race where the sort of dust settles, and that he will be fighting to compete with some of the other more seasoned Civic drivers and get more of an even result from that as well. Aside from him, a few of the regulars in the Civic touring car that have been quite competitive so far have been the likes of Achilles. Spud in particular had a very, very strong race last week, usually working towards that sort of bottom step of the podium, mid-pack approach. He was actually taking the lead of the race quite comfortably at a tricky Iga Nordvan circuit last week. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how he fares tonight, but usually by the end of race 2 you can see where the dust settles and the regulars come out on top.
And for the less experienced drivers, and we'll lump them in the pro drivers, what can you expect if things can go wrong? What are the main things that can go wrong at this track?
Understeer. Understeer is quite common. Being a very tight and technical circuit with very little room to run too wide at the best of times, dipping a wheel onto that dirt or that sand can easily pull you off, especially on a corner that's got a slight bit of banking there as well. And I think it's a very complicated track layout. If you're just following it in terms of the layout of the track itself, that's fine. Once a couple of cones are knocked out of the way, there are roads going everywhere on this circuit. So if someone gets a corner wrong and heads down the wrong road, heads down an escape road or something like that, the game will either reset them, which means they'll lose a lot of time, or potentially if they go down the wrong road, cut a corner and head back onto the main circuit, it may actually just let you carry on. However, the game will penalise you because it'll say, hey, you haven't followed the track lap. Correct, you haven't followed the track lap, so it'll make you do another full lap of the circuit, which is essentially worse than being reset, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. And so while we're on it, the Civic, they're all in the same car tonight. They're all in the Civic Type R EK touring car. I must ask, what is it about this car? Why was it chosen? Why is it the Sprint Series car of choice?
I think with the Sprint series, we always try to look for a car type that's a little bit different compared to the Group 3 machinery that our drivers are used to running. So, a bit of a break from the norm for them. The Civic was a car that shot up our list pretty early on when we were looking at creating Apex Point Racing League, because it's compact, it's quick front wheel drive as well, so a nice easy learning curve for everyone in terms of like mastering the skill of driving a small car fast. And also, it's just fun. It revs so high. The gears are nice and short. A track like this, which is really short with not too many open and fast corners, it was just a really good combo. And I think with a grid start as well, with the false start check, it really takes a little bit of technical know-how to launch this car properly, and that just adds to the appeal and adds to a bit of the fun. So we try and, take a little bit of a break from the Group 3 machinery, where everyone's used to, rear-engined cars, heaps of aero and downforce, and just go back to basics, small cars, front-wheel drive, just a sort of, I guess, recipe that, many budding racers that would be starting out, whether it's, a 12 hours of lemons or something like that in a Hyundai Excel sort of vibe, just sort of take it back to those basic levels of entry racing.
No worries. And look, we kind of touched on it before, Anthony, but how is this kind of racing, the Sprint Series kind of racing, different to the normal season, being that, is it just because it's everyone's in the same car, there's no car difference, it's purely racing ability, or how do you see it?
Well, exactly that. Everyone's in the same machinery. We don't have any tuning involved. We're all on the same tyres, and there's no pit stops. So it is coming down to everybody looking for, and mostly in the second race when people have found their positions, working out passing manoeuvres on another driver, waiting for the mistake rather than just being that your car has an advantage in a certain section of a track, and maximizing its potential in that scenario. Here, we're all going to be choosing different lines to try and get an advantage. There's nothing you can, your car's going to be doing different from anyone else's car. So really, your lines. Your gear shifts, a lot of the Sprint Series that we do, some cars have a little trick with the gear shifts. Missing a gear, for example, might be a benefit that these drivers have to work out for that specific track at a certain time to maximize or get the potential to find that pass. And that's what makes this really good, So in the Group 3s, someone might be having a blinding season. There might be another driver in there that has, the same or better skill level, but their car's just not suiting any of the tracks in that season, and he's had a poor car choice for the season. Here, we're doing the same thing, and having the two heats is getting the drivers to find their race or heat 2 grid positions based on the Heat 1 as a qualification also makes that a little bit interesting, because it's not just who can lap the fastest, it's who's going to navigate through traffic to also get the benefit. You might have a crash, you might run into somebody, get held up at certain spots because their cars are so evenly paced that we will get a Heat 2 being quite a mix. And being that they're only 20 minutes, it doesn't allow people to spread out too far. So that's the best part about it. So Heat 1 will end, the grid order gets shuffled into be that starting position, and the cars are all back together again. for the green light.
Well, Norris, thank you, Anthony and Snoopy, for those insights. As we now head down, this will start the race now at the legendary Streets of Willow Springs. Snoopy, let's start it off.
Yep, hitting the
As
big
we
button now.
we'll probably start with a bit of Raz from behind. And Raz starts a bit slow off there as he takes off. He's looks like he almost stalled, and Specs and Blazzo get ahead. Oh, big crashes there. Looks like Morg has run into Rico and caused a big setup. And looks like Elder that's just gone off. That was a tough corner, that one.
Yeah, it's always going to be chaotic at the start of that race, as we're just riding on board here with the Elder at the moment. It's a wide corner, plenty of different lines to take through there, but it can get a bit compact with 16 cars close by.
Well, as you can see, Morgs and Raz kind of fighting it up at the front there above Elder. Big spin out there from Elder as he takes out Blazzo. Oh, and that's dangerous. That was dangerous.
There was a huge off there.
As Elder comes back on track, let's go out to Bowers. As he's in the pack with N. Donaldson and Palazzo. That was very dangerous. This pack is just they're bumping and everything. As Rico takes that was a good pass there. Rico takes the three cars in that corner, and here we go. So Bowers up against Timmy. Oh
dear.
That's
Talk about pit maneuver.
I'm not sure whose fault that was. I'm not sure if Timmy pulled into Bowers or Bowers just did not come across him. It looked a bit both. That's
it looked like nobody was going to give up any of the space, and Tim could be moving across or Bowers moving the other way.
There's just dust everywhere.
Yeah, this is what we were saying at the start. As we can see at front, Donaldson's got a 0.5 penalty, probably for track limits. Same with Specs. As we stay with Bowers, it just looks they're just and a bit of a fight with GT. This is the battle pack at the moment.
Oh, they're three wide in front of them. The windy car, boys.
As we kind of come around the back corner, that is insane. And GT and Bowers just—they're
doing so well,
giving each other little love taps just to say, "Hey, we're both here." And as we stick with Bowers here,
definitely got the grimacing face on in that Civic with the Cheshire Cat teeth at the front, as there's just more dust in front of them.
We might go on board with Amateur here. And he takes a very wide there and cut the corner. This is the problem, is when you're in a pack like this, the amount of Rick, he's gone up Rico and he's put Rico off. There is just nothing. These cars are just going to be nothing but duct tape at the end of the race.
100%.
As we can see, Donaldson trying to take the inside of Pitt here. Very nice. Specs and Bowers fighting it out.
Just see the Wendy's cars surrounding Bowers, swarming him like a shark.
And it looks like Specs has got another penalty. A bit of a bump there by Bowers into the back of Specs. As we and Morgs takes a very sideways up there, as you can see. If we go on with Morgs,
sends it up the inside there on Yowie. Gets the job. Doesn't get the job done actually. Yowie with the old up and under coming down the main straight. Let's see what Morgs does here heading into turn 1. Very sensibly hits his normal braking marker. Gives him a bit of a rub on the outside there as he comes through. And Yowie lets him know that I wasn't a fan of that move there.
No. He's gone off again.
I'm just surprised not seeing any penalties pop up from the way these cars are cutting these corners.
Oh, tell me about it. Another car in the back, Bowers at the back there. There's just more dust.
Donaldson's going to take the inside from Yowie and Morgs to get past.
Oh, he does too.
Takes advantage of these two fighting it out.
Yeah, Morg's done very well to hold onto his position there from Yowie. Ran him high, and cutting on the track on the corner late.
The problem is Yowie now has to fight with Bowers. Now Bowers takes over. Yowie keeps it, but runs him wide a little bit there.
Oh.
Bowers comes in, but Yowie goes off the track. Morgs is probably looking in his rear view and thanking God that these two are now a bit behind him, giving him a bit of space.
There was a glimpse of a car in the background just paddock bashing. I don't know who it was, but there was someone paddock bashing in the background there.
As we go to lap 5.
Jeez, 5 laps
or
already.
16 in this, yeah, and it's been action packed. Bowers are absolutely monstering Yowie at the moment. Oh! There's a little love tap in the back and it sends Yowie straight, and now it looks like Specs is trying to take advantage of this, and you've got a big battle pack behind him. Specs, amateur GT.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the sharks are swarming behind him.
They can taste blood in the water, and Yowie
makes the mistake.
Couldn't control it. Can Bowers take advantage? He does the rest of this, and Specs also does, but Specs right beside Yowie here. He's going to take the inside and gets that cleanly. Yoey's just... oh! amateur now giving Yoey's...
Just getting eaten
I
alive.
I almost feel like these guys need to buy Yoey a dinner first, the way they're treating him. He's copying it from every angle. But in saying that, he's doing very well in how he's handling it. To be honest, hasn't gone off. Maz in 11th, as we see coming around the first, and Pitmaster.
Oh, talking about
Yoey
doing the actual pitting on the Pitmaster part.
Oh, he's keeping up with his name.
Yeah.
He did wait, gave the position, so at least that happened. I was going to say it's going to happen surely sooner or later. But Yoey cops a 5-second penalty.
And as we go up to number 2 with F. Donaldson, we'll follow him. He's fighting for first place at the moment.
Yeah, really reeled DDK
he's reeled,
back in.
DDK in, and DDK runs a bit wide
You
there.
must have had a better angle on that one because we're watching.
And now he's cut that time real down, and he's looking for the angle to pass. Can DDK hold this off?
Pitmaster saying that was an accident, I promise. Oh well, we'll let the shoot.
Donaldson goes
what's
way
going on
off
there?
He's just completely gone off, gone from second down to 5th in one corner.
And then the Donaldsons are back together again, father and son duo.
Yep.
Fighting each other.
You can see the dirt on the tyres as he comes down the main straight here over the start finish.
Seven laps in, 7 of 16. At the moment, our leaderboard is DDK, followed by Red Bearsy. Changed it to Palazzo. Red Bearsy in 3rd, and Donaldson 4th. 5th is F. Donaldson, 6th is Bowers, 7th is Mork, and Specs in 8th. That's your top 8 at the moment. Ooh. And as we...
Quickly just shout out the Palazzo's Fat Pete's Italian...
They're big and they're cheesy. They're big and they're cheesy.
He got
and
past,
now
he's in the lead now. He got past DDK just then.
It just seemed like DDK. It's something wrong. He was either dirty tyres, losing a lot of time there. I'm not sure, but I think Palazzo's just taking advantage of it.
I think we got.
And now Donaldson takes 2nd, and DDK's fallen down to 3rd. So, not sure exactly what's happened there.
I think potentially we have to remember that...
first time in the car.
Yeah, first time in the car, that's exactly right. So DDK started on the front row of the grid. Should have really used that opportunity to just completely scoot away as he's battling side by side here with F. Donaldson down the main straight.
He has to run a bit high there and lets Donaldson through. in the
Yep,
corner.
and this was the driver I was talking about who last week performed exceptionally well at Egan Nordvan, a very tight technical circuit, kind of like this one tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the top step of the podium after the second race tonight.
Very interesting.
Yeah, Donaldson's definitely got a history of performing super well together in the sprint races, always on podiums.
Oh, there's someone going skid in there. Who's that? Red Bearsy comes across the cameraman, skidding sideways, which is not what you want to do in a front-wheel drive car. That's for sure. Those front tyres now will be hot and non-compliant.
Let's give it up for Scorchers while we're here.
But that car does look really good though.
Perth Scorchers fan. You know what? In saying some of these liveries are amazing, I must shout out to the Mr. Bean Wendy's car. That cracks me up every time I see it.
Yep.
I think that's Pitmaster.
That's right, yep. As we can see Mr. Bean popping up on the rear window there.
Lap 8 of 16 as we're riding with Pitmaster down the straight. He's got a bit of a big gap behind him, but he's got a bit of a gap catching up in front of him with his GT Speed Racer in that looks like a very Joker colours, but you wouldn't miss him in the dark, would you?
No, that's right.
GT
yep.
Racer's car there.
Very 90s sort of style.
Yeah, he's and the big exhaust on the back of his car as he hunts down Razmaz here. Razmaz goes off. That will cost him a bit of time. And I just wanted to go back to those first kind of 5 laps where you did see a lot coming off. The dust really played a part where you could cost the driver's vision just in that. Not seeing where people are, where to brake, or if people are using braking markers on the side, it made it a lot harder to see when they were coming up. So
yeah, absolutely, and I imagine with the conditions in this race of the sun setting in the background as well, depending if you're heading uphill towards that sun, it would be very hard to see where you're going.
And we'll go on board with Morgs at the moment because he's in the 6, 7 and 8 battle pack with Red Bearsy and Specs. He's looks like he's
even just riding on board with him behind the driver's seat here with Morgs as he gets a half-second penalty. You just every car that cuts the corner, because that is the ideal line for a lot of these corners, you just can't see anything.
Pitmaster's also picked up a half-second penalty at the same time.
Oh wow!
Those first couple of corners from turn 1 into turn 2, turn 3, they're so sharp, and if you're not taking them properly, you run completely off the track. And I find that's where most of these drivers are picking up these penalties.
It's almost like they're corners, but you sort of just need to go straight through them as the crow flies.
Oh, Specs right up Red Bearsy there. Thought he could take the inside, but Red Bearsy defends it well. But Morg is caught. Morg's caught up.
He'll drop off a bit here with the penalty, but it should only be being such a short straight. It shouldn't be too much of a problem for Morgs.
And this is going to be interesting. Specs and Red Bearsy down the straight.
Specs has the inside
line. Specs, he's taking it very wide there, wide there, and
Will Red Bearsy cop a penalty?
That's a cut there. That should be a cut.
Who's going to get the penalty?
Not at fault though, so he was bumped off there, so the game might realise that.
Possibly, yep. Carry on, they say, carry on. Talk about a split battle pack here. We've got, what's in this battle pack here? Specs leading the charge in 6th, then we have 7th. Oh, Red Bearsy.
Red Bearsy's off. For the photo op, up at the top of the track.
Yep.
Oh, he's turned it into Dakar Rally.
I know Hondas make lawnmowers, but they're not meant for this track tonight, I have to tell you.
Yeah, that's going to make his tyres very, very dirty.
Yep.
Very, very dirty.
He went from, I think it was 7th, if I'm not mistaken, down to 11th, so... Yep.
Now, we missed it at the... on lap 4, but just to explain everybody, Rico is currently sitting in 16th. He cut the track. There was an accident, an incident on lap 4 where he cut the track completely, and as Snoopy or Anthony said at the beginning, it does register saying, hey, you didn't do the lap, and it has put him down to 16th and a lap behind. So his 4th lap is set at a 2 minutes 51.
Yikes, yep.
So
meanwhile, the fastest is a 1 minute 13.9 by N. Donaldson. Currently sitting in P1, so we must have missed that. He got the jumps on the Fat Pizza car of R. Palazzolo. So, yeah, he's now leading the charge. So we're riding on board with Morgs here.
Yeah, we might stay with Morgs for lap 2. Oh,
what
Specs goes way off.
Oh, you're getting all these camera angles and it's just coming up on the street.
Oh, and Razman's up behind Morgs, trying to take advantage of the... Oh! Morgs!
Oh,
he's waiting. He's reset. Reset right onto the racing line.
Oh, no.
Oh!
That is unfortunate.
Oh, that's upsetting. Now, a question I have, in that situation, does Red Bezzy need to readdress that, or is that fair go?
It was he's reset onto the racing line. There's nothing Red Bezzy could have done about that. I think Morgs would understand that.
The driver reset also doesn't have control after the game resets it for that part, so he's sort of just a passenger until the 1 or 2 seconds counts down, and then they're giving back control, so yeah, not much either of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bezzy only saw him very late, being at the corner, and then there was so much dust in the air, we'd have only seen him at the last minute as well. So
yeah, exactly.
As we go up to Bowers and watch him do the last part of this track. Now, how much getting later on in the race when the sun is going down? How much does it affect the track temperature, especially at the top of the track, being that would be the first to go cold, or no sun on it? Does that affect?
It's probably a question better answered by our GT7 race specialist, who is currently actually sitting in P2 at the moment. But I imagine with this type of vehicle, because the fronts cop a lot of the brunt in the sense of all the power's being put down to the front, all the steering's being done by the front tyres obviously as well. Once they get to a point where they're hot or overheated, you lose a lot of that grip and traction. So I imagine as the cars move into those shady spots, or as the sun sort of dips behind the valley here at Willow Springs, those tyres should, as Bowers gets a little bit of a drift going on there, those tyres should hopefully come back to the drivers and give them a little bit more grip that they're all searching for.
And Morgs picked up a half-second penalty, just a bit of a cut on turn 2. That seems to be a very common place for everyone cutting and copping the penalty.
Definitely. There is a huge battle pack forming here. Sorry to cut you off there. From amateur pitmaster all the way to DDK. Now DDK again started in P1, but has the least amount of experience in this car. Specs behind him is letting him know that he's definitely there though.
Yeah, speed. The fight between amateur and speed racer at the moment is quite good as well. As we can see here on the straight, GT, it looks like speed racer's got a little bit more speed down the straight than amateur.
I think Pity had to serve a half-second penalty, so that gave him a little bit of breathing room. But there's a second last lap of the race, and P6 to I think it's P11 or P10 is up for grabs here. So it will be interesting to see if DDK can hold on. We won't forget our podium places for the first race, but just a reminder that this will not be the points issuing race, it'll be the race after this.
The shadows have moved quite a bit from the start of the race, so I guess people are having to adapt to braking points.
Definitely.
Just admiring the delivery on DDK's car.
Yeah.
Has a
Not,
few eyebrows raised from the stewards department, needless to say there.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about it, is
All I can say is, thank goodness this live stream has been marked for not safe for children.
Now, it looks like Specs is right up with DDK trying to take him on this.
DDK goes real defensive, holding the inside line
Very
here.
defensive.
And makes them both kind of run
defensive
wide. But he's not going away, Specs here. Ooh,
Hopefully Specs doesn't get too hungry and make a mistake pushing him.
Keep that pressure applied, it definitely will pay off.
As we're on board with Specs and watching the battle between Specs and DDK for this last lap. Oh,
takes a bit of a height. Oh, he had that. The door was open on the inside there. Ooh, dips the wheels into the gravel. Loses a bit of traction. We might actually have to jump to the front of the pack because I think they're about to cross the start-finish line. Actually.
Yeah, with N. Donaldson. Off-track Dakar rally to the finish line.
Very nice.
Fat Pizza
With
car in
Plazo
second.
and F. Donaldson
He picked up a
coming in second.
penalty. Did the penalty make him lose position, or was he
No,
hold
he
position?
still held onto it. He still held onto it.
goodness.
One
Bowers in
second.
fourth. DDK still battling with Specs here. He should hold on to this though. So DDK fifth, Specs sixth.
Oh, DDK does a spin over the line. I must say, we didn't shine enough light on it, but Raz from that start to finish seventh, very consistent, a very consistent run. No big incidents. Stayed very clean. So well done to Raz for the seventh place. And Amateur looks like at the end they ended up taking Speed Racer for 8th place. So our leaderboard for this race is N. Donaldson first, R. Palazzo second, 3rd place goes to F. Donaldson, 4th Bowers, 5 DDK, 6 Specs, 7th place is Razmaz. As we take a short time between races, I will ask my daily question, I guess. So if you were here on the Thursday night stream, you would have seen heard I had a question that I would ask, and if you got the first person in to answer it, you got a prize. So the prize this stream tonight is a little bit lower because last week we did a big one. This one is a $15 PlayStation gift card. A $15 PlayStation gift card. So if you can deal with me for 2 seconds, guys, sorry. So what I'll do is I'll ask a question. The first person to write it correctly in the chat will get the prize. Anthony and Snoopy, while I'm getting the question ready, is there any highlights or anything there you would like to talk about for that first race?
I mean, there's just so much happening
I think
there.
the whole thing was a bit of a highlight if you ask me.
Oh,
I didn't know where to
absolutely.
look most of the time.
Absolutely, and this is usually what happens in race one of the round, right? In the sprint series, you have the faster drivers at the back carving their way through to the front, and in a track like this where there's not a lot of room for overtaking, not a lot of room for side-by-side racing, it just will cause a bit of chaos, and that's definitely what happened. But I think everyone had their fair share of chaos that race, so
Yes.
it all evened out in the end.
And the slower drivers do have every right for the track space as well. So they are allowed to defend, and they can defend as hard as they like to hold these faster drivers up. And in fact, we encourage it.
Well, as we wait for the race to start, my question is everyone ready? My question is a longer answer for you guys though, so I need every part of the question answered. So I need the name of the driver, what year it was, and what his time was, and the question is, who set the lap of the gods? at Bathurst?
Oh, very good question. Someone should know this off the top of their head, surely.
I need name, year, and his time.
This is the big trivia moment that someone's been preparing for.
The question again is, who set and what time and what year was the Lap of the Gods?
I mean, I have no idea, but I have a name in my head immediately, and an era, I guess you could say.
I know what the car likes.
Yeah.
Womble says it was him in 1977 during the daytime. Morg says has said Greg Murphy, but who cares? Achilles is jumping in saying Greg Murphy 19 something. I'm gonna have to leave this one still open for the time being.
Yeah, we'll leave it open during the second race.
Well then, I'll just do a quick check to confirm that my colleagues in the comm box have got the second race all ready to go.
Sure do. If you
All
say
right.
start, I'll hit the start button.
Yep, okay, well I'm about to hit start now. A lot of honking going on, windscreen wipers on in Pitmaster's car. And they're off here, heading into turn one. Let's see if they can navigate it a bit better this time around. We're right on board with Pitmaster on the chase cam. Pitmaster has said Murphy 2003 with a 2 minutes 6 seconds 8494.
And that would be absolutely correct.
There we go. Riding on board with Pitmaster, and Pitmaster came out on top with the trivia question. Congratulations, mate.
Well done.
Definitely didn't use Google for that. As he's driving still along.
DDK's picked up a half-second penalty.
Oh, I'm more enwrapped with Pitmaster's windscreen wipers, adding more speed to the car. Oh, he managed to get them stuck. He's in VR. That's the funny part. So he would have had them right in his face during the race. But have a look at this this snake coming through.
We'll see if these Wendy's cars are working together with Pitmaster and Specs. Oh, Specs half-second penalty.
And DDK behind him as well. So I'd be fascinated. I'm going to ride on board here with F. Donaldson, who's had a bit of a shocker of a start because, if I'm not mistaken, was P2 and is currently sitting in P7 as he crosses the start-finish line, looking for a move on Specs, who's lost a bit of momentum here. No, thinks wise of it.
Out wide.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh, the understeer just brings you straight. More honking going on. Bit of road rage.
I think between races, people found where their horn was. I do believe.
And Donaldson is just gone. But Fat Pizza Car is in close proximity.
He's got a 1 second penalty though in Donaldson.
Oh, Specs said I had to let Pity pass. It was team orders.
So this with this 1 second penalty coming up, Flux will take him here.
Very likely. Very likely. We'll have to see how this fans out.
Donaldson is Achilles, who is our overall season champion from last season.
Hence the bright gold-coloured number 1 on his door there. So he serves his 1 second penalty now. It's really I've been noticing it's been a bit tricky for the drivers when they're serving the penalty because the car brakes automatically. As the Fat Pizza Car has a little bit of a look, doesn't get the move done, but
just a little touch, just a little touch.
Yeah, just a
Those
little one.
pizzas have to be delivered hot or they're for free.
Yes, Donaldson, get out of the way.
Cowabunga, dude.
But as I was saying, serving that penalty, the car automatically brakes, which just throws all the weight onto the front tyres and makes it very difficult to steer. And it's actually halfway through a bit of a kink as well. So it's a very tricky area to serve the penalty.
Now we're seeing a much more disciplined kind of racing these first 3 laps than we did the first, and it's still quite packed. It's
the Wendy's
on board with
trio.
With Amateur and F. Donaldson. They're fighting it out fairly big.
Oh, sorry, not the
big
trio. F. Donaldson is in the mix. The
Just happens to be a black
yeah, I
black
know.
car.
Yeah, just the wolf in sheep's clothing hanging
Yeah,
into Wendy's cars.
He's the rose between two thorns here,
That's right. Yep.
and he goes off.
Oh,
And Specs takes him.
That's it. Get it done.
gets the
Well
move done. So DDK has dropped back to P7. Raz in P8, closely followed by Full Grumpy, is making some nice progress here actually to catch the pack. Probably taking the opportunity at the start of the race to gain as many positions as possible.
And I feel these two, I feel Red Bearsy and Morgs are destined to just race each other every race. They were stuck together for the first race. They're fighting it out again
Coming
here.
along, yep.
And then up the rear, we've got GT Speed Racer in 12th, Elder in 13th, Yoey in 14th, Rico in 15th, and Tim E in 16th. But every time I say Timmy's name, I just want to go, Timmy!
Teme from South Park, yeah.
Timmy!
This is a really interesting pack with Speed Racer sort of leading the charge. Arguably not somewhere where he would want himself to be in terms of his skill level as a pro driver, but credit to the Elder and Yoey for hanging on there and applying the pressure. These are all for points at the end of the day, so all it needs is a driver in front of them to get a penalty for a track cut or something like that. As Yoey goes around the outside, very nicely planned move on the Elder here, sets him up nicely for the second last turn.
It's almost like the Elder kind of just gave him more room than needed.
Well, to fight another day, I guess.
That's exactly right, and the Elder is one of the most respectful drivers we have on the grid here at Apex Point Racing League. Always thinking of the bigger picture, always thinking of, live to fight another day or the next lap and things like that, and most of the times it does pay out dividends for him. So
Yoey
just
gets
think
a
of
half
the
a
picture.
second.
There you go.
Sorry to cut
There you
in.
go.
Big
Sorry,
picture.
paid off.
Yep, there you go. Just hang on the bumper and get him back next lap.
I'm
But
just
Rico's-
having a look at Rico coming at the back as well. So this is his chance to actually, I guess, throw his name back in that happened in the first race.
Oh, that's what happened. I was wondering what was going on there.
I'm sorry.
Commentators can say.
Rico's just decided this is Tokyo Drift and sent it sideways around the. And
Maybe I'll
as it
just
goes
lead
off
him to
track.
it.
Yep, as he runs a bit wide there too, cuts
Yeah.
the track.
Leave him alone.
Oh, and Timmy's up the back of him,
Oh,
and that would give Timmy's got a penalty as well, so he'll be slowing down. But he's right up the backside of Rico, frustrating. That'd be frustrating, I guess.
Yeah.
Like as somebody behind somebody, you don't want you want to be behind them to make them uncomfortable, but not long enough there to make them comfortable with you behind them. And I'm using those words from a wise person called Badge. He used them today, so thanks Badge for that little insight.
Yoey's getting nice and close here to the Elder, putting the pressure on him, I feel. Such a tight technical section, this first sector. Oh, it's just insane watching it from the onboard of Yoey with all the dust being kicked up in his face by the Elder. There we go, bang,
Oh, yeah.
straight through the smoke there. We might need to check back in actually with our lead group, because I just saw the track map and it's bit of a close affair here. So we've got N. Donaldson in P1, Palazzolo in P2.
He's not going away. He's just keeping Donaldson looking in that rear view mirror and saying, you know what, I'm here. I'm not going away. One mistake by you, and I'm taking advantage of that.
And credit where credit's due, Pitmaster in P4, hanging on to the back of this battle pack, but also has the fastest lap of the race so far. I mean, not as fast as race 1, but race 2 is where the extra point for fastest lap counts. So if you get, as he runs wide, if you can hold on to it,
You can hold on to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Given that
he'll
he's a silver driver and the cars in front of him are gold and platinum.
yes, definitely not a bad place to be.
If we just go on board with GT Speed Racer at the moment, he's right behind Morgs. And now, as you can see, there's the light on this track is gone, so it'd be a lot cooler, less a bit less grip as we stay with him.
The headlights have turned on a little bit earlier.
Yeah. and he's just trying to keep up here with him. Oh!
Oh, whoa, oh, into the, oh. That is
and Elder goes off as well!
Oh, he's probably looking.
Elder's caught looking.
Hanging
and
on
Yogi
there.
takes it.
Oh my word! Tell you what, that was some industrial grade chicken wire. Far out. Those people saved a near fatality.
The ambulances are on the way.
Oh, and it's such a nice shot seeing all the cars across the track in the background and the foreground there. It's such a fun little circuit.
Calls for medic were about to be heard.
Tell you what, those people are lucky to be alive. Let me just say that.
I gotta find out who put that chicken wire in.
Oh, it's Rico.
Rico's one line.
Yeah, do a little bit of Tokyo drifting there for Red Mist. Red Mist Racing Team always has a very good looking livery, which actually is not a bad time to shout out here. A question to you, gents. What's your favourite livery on the grid tonight?
I'm a bit I do like GT speed races. I just like how loud it is. I like the color. I like the coloring.
Kind of reminds me of a HKS Nissan drag car, that sort of vibe.
Yeah. It does.
But if I was personally going to pick something, it would be just because it makes me laugh every time I see it. Would be Amateur Pitmasters
with Mr. Bean hanging on the side of someone.
But some of these liveries are really good looking.
Yeah, I in the first race I didn't get to. All the liveries weren't loading up properly for me, so now I'm getting to see them all.
I mean, I really like
Morgs. I like traditional, you know. It's
I do like Morgs as well. Yep, and he's a big fan of the Shaw V Power.
AGR.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but just the subtle touches of the matching colours on the door, like on the window decals of his name, race number, the rims, just nice subtle little things there. Yep, big fan.
Morgs picks up a 1 second penalty as well.
And we have to shout out to Speed Racer's fat exhaust, which we just give a bit of air time.
I mean, I don't mind Grumpy's natural look livery.
I think he's actually got a livery on, but unfortunately sometimes this game just has a little bit of a glitch where it won't show some users liveries that they've applied, and unfortunately, yes, Grumpy does have the clean touring car look, but in the race he very much does have his own livery that rings true to him. So sorry about that, Grumpy, but yeah, we appreciate it.
Loading up, Yep.
Well, I'm glad neither three of us chose DDKs just to let the intrusive thoughts in our head win here, so...
I did have it in my list, I just didn't want to say it.
I was going to mention it. The thing that I didn't like about it is the writing on the back window. The back window, I don't like the back window, but I was going to say, just as a bit of fun, was DDK's transition. The colour transitions for DK's car done really well.
Yes, that
any
is.
Other things that you guys like about his car?
It makes me feel dirty.
The Image Digital logo looks really nice.
Bowers now, we're sitting with Bowers. I'm sitting with Bowers now. I'm sitting in fifth behind F. Donaldson going down the pit straight. He's racing very clean this time. He was in a lot of incidents in the first race. Yeah, in the first race he was in a lot of incidents. Well, I might have talked too early here. As he gets right behind F. Donaldson around those.
As I hear a horn in the distance. Someone
I think that was Bowers letting F. Donaldson know I'm here.
Oh, someone's blown a fuse on their horn and it's just stuck for the rest of the race.
Just want to see if Bowers has his lights flashing. Oh,
they're both gone deep. Oh, how's your rejoin here? Oh, very respectfully waits. Very nicely done for DDK. DDK gets a free position out of that. Looks like Razmaz might as well.
Razmaz and Grumpy go past.
There you go. Persistence pays off.
So guys watching the stream, that is exactly how you rejoin.
It was.
He's having a bit of a gearbox issue there.
This looks like it's not going in a third, and he's.
It's doing the P plate rev banging sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, now he gets into third, back to second, and
he just dusting off the valves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's having trouble in that second, getting into third. Oh, it looks like it's fixed. He's in third. No.
Yep, shifting to third. Yep, shifting into fourth. And Bowers remembers how to shift, and he's on his way. We've got a good little battle pack forming right at the back here between Rico and the Elder. They're nice and tight, but maybe they just overtook one another there.
Oh, commentator's curse.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm just never going to say these sort of every single time.
Guys, I said it earlier on. Leave Rico alone.
And Elder takes the position.
I pick someone unassuming, having their own little fun here, and then look what I've done. And no, this wasn't scripted. I have not watched this race.
That was Elder had him, but went way too wide on that first corner, and Rico's just taken it back and made a little bit of space between them now.
Now we've got to watch out as well, because Timmy's heading down the main straight just past the start-finish line, but N. Donaldson has just passed the start-finish line too, so there's going to be some blue flags shown here, so maybe we'll ride on board with N. Donaldson, or Achilles as he's known as in the community, just to see how he navigates through this situation, because if he's setting 113.9s and Timmy's setting about 120s, like high 120s, they should come together pretty quickly here. He doesn't want him to get in his way because he's got a big gap to the Fat Pizza car.
Oh, Timmy.
Must have missed that on the camera. Oh, very nicely done, Timmy. That's excellent.
Puts his lights on and says, "Here you go."
Oh, what happened to Palazzo?
He's ran wide and picked up a penalty.
Mr. Bean is in P2.
But also has a penalty.
But enough of a gap to P3 that it shouldn't really affect the positions.
Well, they both got penalties. P2 and P3 both have penalties, so...
Ed Donaldson's going to pick up a position for sure.
Right up Palazzo, and he's beeping him.
No, that's usually a Pitmaster or N. Donaldson, I can guarantee you there. Oh, F. Donaldson just doesn't take any chances there, gets it done. We're on lap 14, guys. 3 laps to go. Tell you what, Timmy's doing an exceptional job here of allowing faster cars to come through and not impeding on their races.
He's running his race and letting everybody else run their race as well, like you said, not
I hope to the heavens above that I haven't started a commentator curse here and you can hear Pitmaster beeping furiously. F. Donaldson. He's trying his best. I think that was okay. He has indicated that counts, right?
Yep. Hunt's on though.
Oh, I'll tell you what, N. Donaldson is just locked into this car, hey?
Yeah.
Looks like Timmy's gone completely off the track there. As Specs passed him, so...
I might have to join this race next week.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's good fun. Next week we'll be at Red Bull Ring Short, so another short compact circuit, but a bit more room for overtaking. So
11 and 10 Morgs and Speed Racer battling out here at the top of the track.
Oh.
Yeah, looking good.
Hanging on here, riding on board with Morgs. Red Bearsy also hanging on to the back of Morgs as well, like we said earlier, inseparable. As we look through the rear view window.
And it looks like just off camera we stay with Morgs, but it still looks like Bowers has got that problem with the with second gear.
We might.
It looks like it is affecting him because GT Speed Racer has caught up. Morgs and this pack has caught up with him fairly quickly.
That's definitely, yeah, we can definitely see that Speed Racer smells blood.
Just a quick shout out for Timmy, just doing a great job letting people pass, by the way.
Yeah, not easy to do, especially on a really tight track like this. Great job.
It's a very tight. It's a very tight track, and to give people plenty of room, he's very. Yeah.
And Donaldson
Well
is on his last lap. He's about to start the last lap, so he's got probably about a minute left till he crosses the finish line. And Pitmaster, great result for him, holding on to P2. Now that I said that, he's probably going to lose it. Commentators.
Well, if Donaldson is coming after him, and he's coming after him fast, so this is going to be a very interesting last lap to see if Pitty can hold it off here.
And that fat pizza car just looks angry behind them.
Yeah, if Donaldson overdrives and picks up the penalty, Palazzo's going to be snapping that right back.
Oh, the camera view on the live stream just then was so perfectly poised as Pitmaster went past, honking the horn. It was like you were in your own house going beep, 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 straight past. But they're still hanging on. Pitmaster's hanging on, and Donaldson is way ahead. Might just jump on board with him. He's got past Rico's moto there, so lapped him on the last lap there. He's coming down the main straight there, and that is P1 for N Donaldson as he crosses the line.
That's very well done.
Given a flash of his hazard lights to thank.
Oh,
Rico
as he gets a bit of.
Hey!
Oh my goodness me!
And Amateur Pitmaster comes in second, with third going to F Donaldson, and fourth with Palazzo. Fifth is Specs, and it looks like DDK he's going to hold off for sixth place there.
Not a bad result.
Not a bad effort.
Yeah, definitely.
Razmaz again starts in seventh, finishes in seventh. Another pretty solid run there for Raz.
Quite achiever.
And And great job to Grumpy as well. P8, that's a great result, mate, especially with the mix of drivers that are in this lobby. Bowers was probably left wondering what happened with his gearbox there as he rev bangs over the line there. Now, interestingly, Speed Racer! What has happened there?
What's going on?
I think I know what happened here. He's either cut the corner on the last lap, and the game has said, nah, you've got to go around again.
Oh no!
So he's just driven straight because he thinks it's over, but it's got to go again.
Yep.
And Elders finished in 13th ahead of G.
Actually, yes, he's
Racer.
picked up a spot ahead of Speed Racer there, because Speed Racer's probably really confused here, because he's going to be going at race pace while all the other cars have got their hazards on and being driven around automatically by the game. So
this is exactly the same thing that happened to Rico at the start in the first race.
Exactly.
I wonder where that cut was, but I mean, it's such a tight track, it could have happened anywhere, to be completely honest with you. But he would definitely have some engine damage, judging by the sheer amount of force he put into that concrete barrier.
That's disappointing to have that happen on the last lap.
Yeah, tell me about it. Last lap, that's probably the worst time, as he runs wide there, and unfortunately the timer ran out for the game itself. So that's a wrap on that race there. But congratulations to the podium of N Donaldson finishing P1. Pitmaster,
which is Achilles, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, Achilles.
Yeah.
Achilles. Pitmaster, the man on the horn, and the one with the windscreen wipers in P2. So obviously he had the strategy at play there that worked well. And then in P3 it was Flux or Palazzolo and the Fat Pizza Honda Civic.
So it's happened. He's coming down the hill.
Oh, it's a Speed Racer.
Speed Racer. It's coming down the hill. He's only got like 3 turns left of the track, but he's made a slight mistake and slid through the track, and then just carried on. So he's out of control and ended up back on the track, but it's such a large cut, the game's not going to count this lap.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes complete sense.
Can we talk about the biggest incident in that race, which still involved GT Speed Racer, was at the top of the hill, and that going straight into the chicken fencing. I'm still not sure exactly what happened there, because it looked like he was pretty much in a straight line, and he's just completely veered off and gone off the track, and then obviously Elder's coming through it behind and is probably looked at him going, "What's going on there?" And then he's made a mess of things as well. So
it could have been so many things. It could have been a stuck throttle pedal. It could be a dead brake pedal. Just if either of those fail at the end of that, arguably one of the fastest parts of the for the track, there's not much you can really do apart from hit the industrial grade chicken wire.
yeah, so like I said, if that industrial grade chicken wire didn't stop the car, those poor people we'd have serious problems, and many helicopters coming in to airlift them out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any takes from that race? Anybody that we should be watching out for that we might have not been looking at before? Who do you feel needs to be looked at next race?
I initially thought one of the Donaldson duos would be my go-to, but Pitmaster has just really been showing that he's understanding the car more and more after every race. He said that last week in Switzerland, that the race and the car really came to him in the second race, and he had a really strong result there and an even stronger result this week. So I wouldn't put it past him to be really competitive in the remaining rounds for this season.
Yeah.
Well, any closing remarks, boys, before we head off tonight?
Over to you,
thanks for everybody. Thanks for everybody who tuned in and came along for the journey. That was, I think, this is one of our first sprint races that we've actually streamed. To be honest,
yeah, actually.
On. So, if we haven't, I guess, given the viewers quite a in-depth rundown, I believe we have another one on the calendar, and we'll go through it in a bit more depth in relation to how it works. Given that it's Heat 1 and Heat 2. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I couldn't echo those sentiments any further. Thanks everyone for joining. We like putting on these live streams and feature races for you guys so that you can have a bit of a relaxing Sunday evening before the start of the work week, and hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we enjoyed it.
And we will be endeavouring to improve these, because we are looking to make them, I guess, more palatable, easier to consume, and better for you guys. But please shout us out in the comments, and we'll still be engaging with you guys. We'd love to engage with you guys as the streams go on.
Yeah, no worries. Well, as always, again, this stream is brought to you by Image Digital. The Australian company specialises in high quality, all over printed apparel for sports, corporate and more. They focus on sustainability with colour fast, breathable and recyclable fabrics, whether for one custom piece or thousands. Image Digital delivers exceptional quality, proud supporters of the APRL. And from myself, Chris, Reddit Junk, whatever you want to call me, just don't call me late for dinner. And from Snoopy and Anthony, thank you very much for joining us in tonight's live stream. We'll catch you at the next one. And remember, stay fast, people.
Thanks, guys.